How to pull it off convincingly started as an homage to an old Rowan Atkinson skit. And it's, again, targeted with British humor. And when I watched it, I thought to myself, I only know one actor that can pull that off here in our troupe.
I think the best part about a play like this is that it's primarily a visual medium. And so the best part is you try out for a role like this, you put 5 people in a room and say do this role, and you're gonna get 5 different results. Okay, the physicality of each person is different, their mannerisms are different, and it's a blast. So do you take a professional, a pro like Rowan Atkinson? He knows what he's doing up there. Okay, he's trained in this, but at the same time, you're seeing him. You're seeing Rowan Atkinson for the character he really is, and how he perceives the role. So when I go into a role like this, I've done a role like this before. It was the most fun I've ever had. That's why I jumped at the opportunity. Is that I want somebody to go up there and say, yeah, that's Topher. That's how Topher acts. But at the same time, I want him to look at me and say, that's unique. That's something nobody's done before. So it's an interesting juxtaposition, but it's a fun challenge, and I think that's the root of drama. Am I right?
Well, basically, it's a theater class, and they were supposed to get famous actor Tobey MacGuire to come and show them how to act out different different things, different ways of acting and portraying things. Well, unfortunately, Tobey MacGuire is a busy guy. He's pretty famous, and he gets called out to do an awards ceremony. He can't go to class. So the premise is that they got a nobody who's written his own script to come in to this classroom and show these students how to act. But the bottom line is it's really how not to act, because the guy's terrible, and the character I play, the instructor, is just he's sad, he's angry, he's overwhelmed, he's underjoyed, and then ultimately he's just trying to get through his day and go home.
And originally Topher, Christopher Putnam, wasn't going to do anything this quarter. He's too busy to do stuff, So I said, well, listen, I got a play for you. It's funny. It's all physical comedy. If you can act in it, I'll direct it. We'll block it. We'll put it together. And he said, done.
And a lot of it, I think, comes off better as improv rather than script. I mean, it's not scripted. I think the best reactions, the best emotions, and the best kind of physical action come from improvisation. So over the next couple weeks, we'll bat around some ideas. We'll see what works. But on opening night, you never know. We'll see how I feel. See how I do. I'm a loose cannon, man.
Topher's a real gem. I like working with him. He's a good actor. He has a lot of experience, and he brings a lot to the table. And he can pull it together.
Eric Sprout, he contacted me via my email, and he said, I got this great idea for a play, and he said it won't take much. It's right up your alley.
Hey, you bought it.
And so I said, what the heck? I said, I got a couple weeks here, days here and there I can work, and I said, let's do it. I said, why not? I'd hate to be left out of the theater troupe again, because I feel like it's something I really advocate for. So I said, what the heck?
The college professor was equally as fun, because we have a brand new academic director here, Ryan Miller, who is the head chef or the head academic director upstairs in the culinary program at AI. And he's the college professor, so he has the big bow tie, tweed jacket with the little elbow patches, and he's the one who has to be Abbott to Costello. He's the straight guy to the funny guy. So where Topher's all physical comedy, he has to give just the right amount of dramatic pause to pull this off. And we retitled the play, we reworked the play, gave a lot of our own innovation, and we think it's a gem.
With British comedy, it's more subtle as far as the jokes. However, they rely on a lot of sight gags. Guys dressing up like women, first of all. That's pretty funny to them. To us, we that's not necessarily funny. That's kind of the guy next door. you know. But funny to the British, and I spent a little time in Liverpool and Nottingham when I worked for another company. They think American comedy is just vulgar. They're just like, oh, it's just vulgarity. And to us, their comedy is very dry, and you have to think a lot. I can't say why that difference is, but the bottom line is, you know, British comedy, you really got to think about it, and then you can infer what's funny. American comedy, we got to tell you what's funny, and usually we got to make a sound effect to tell you when to laugh.
And so to see the staff and the students getting involved, coming together at one, I know some of them butt heads, I know some of them, but I mean, in the end, we're a theater troupe, and you got to rely on one another. It's all about trust when it comes to this kind of thing. So, yeah, the more the merrier. Count me in.
What I hope the audience gets out of watching How to Pull It Off Convincingly is just, I'm hoping for some laughs. There's nothing worse when you do a comedy and it doesn't work. You know, especially with British humor, which is guaranteed to get that gut-busting laugh, and then the audience kind of sits there. So hopefully we'll get more than a golf clap, you know, and I'm pretty sure, I hope that Topher can pull it off. I hope that Ryan can pull it off as well, and I think they can. So what I'm hoping to hear is just a few laughs and a wonderful conclusion to a successful night.
Yes, I understand. I understand. Good morning, everybody. 1 second, please. Yes. Oh, what happened? What happened? Where? So? Who did you get? Who? Spell it. Spell it. Okay. Doug, Lash. Who? Okay, tweet. Douglas, tweet him. And he does what? Oh, fantastic, thank you. Good morning, class, good morning. How are you all doing today? Happy Halloween. Of course, you knew that we talked about last week. We were supposed to have Mr. Tobey MacGuire to come and talk to us about American cinema. Unfortunately, Mr. MacGuire was called away to an unforeseen awards ceremony. However, we have been lucky enough to procure the services of a local thespian actor, Shakespearean actor, named Douglas Tweetham. And Douglas Tweetham is going to come and help us out today with some Shakespearean acting in a script that he has written called How to Pull It Off Convincingly. What I will be doing today, and for your benefit, I will be reading for Mr. Tweetham. Please make sure you take notes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present Douglas Tweetham and How to Pull It Off Convincingly. So, How to Pull It Off Convincingly by Mr. Douglas Tweetham. At the center of our Elizabethan world sits the king. The character of the king depends mostly on the plot, for there are many different types of kings. For example, the benign king. The benign king with a physical defect. The mad king. The evil king. The evil king hatching a plot. Mad King hatching an egg? Right, let's try to get on with this then. An important part of Elizabethan lore was plagued by messengers, distinguishable by many different characteristics. A messenger enters bearing good news. A messenger enters bearing bad news. A messenger enters bearing indifferent news. A messenger enters bearing bad news, which he thinks is good news. As you can see, death comes swift and often in this world. Sometimes death can come at the hands of a total stranger. And sometimes death could come at the hands of one's closest comrade. Don't get mad at me, it's your script. Poison was particularly popular, applied to a frothing cup of ale of the unsuspecting victim. First, let's look at the poisoning kill. And then we have the villain attempting to use said poison. But in the end, all of these are merely devices amounting to nothing without the plot. And at the center of our plot stands our hero, who is king. There is a plot twist. Our king has a brother who is a villain with a physical defect. War comes and War comes, and our hero must lead his men into battle. At the gates, the hero's mistress waits to bid her lover farewell. And the villain's mistress bids her lover farewell also. The war wages on for many years. Until at last a messenger arrives bearing the bad news of the death of the hero. So our villain becomes king. But the message was wrong. And years later, our hero returns. In disguise. Revealing his identity to his loyal subjects only by means of a knowing wink. But his villainous brother recognizes him. And they fight. Finally, the villain is mortally wounded. Oh, and he dies. In character. claims his rightful throne. And celebrates with a frothing cup of ale found by the side of his brother's throne. Mr. Sprouse, I'll see you after class. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for the day. We'd like to thank Mr. Douglas Tweedham for his interesting insight to the world of Shakespearean thespianism. Please remember to read chapters 3 through 12 for tomorrow, and have a happy Halloween, kids. Thank you, one and all. Real happy.